The Bermuda Triangle is one of the most mysterious places in the world. The triangle itself is a geographical area just off the coast of Florida. The Bermuda Triangle's vertices connect from Miami, Florida to Bermuda Island to Puerto Rico. This one section of the Atlantic Ocean has claimed the lives of over 8,000 people. More than 100 ships and airplanes have disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle. All recorded last reports of captains and pilots state that they were traveling through some sort of a yellow haze. This haze belongs to the most logical theory created, the theory of electronic fog. As soon as this haze overlaps the vessel, all of the vessel's magnetic instruments spin out of control, making it hard for the pilot or captain to know where they are. Many theories have been created to the enigma of the Bermuda Triangle, some more believable than others. Atlantis was a common theory back in the olden days. They said that Atlantis had risen from below the Bermuda Triangle and had taken over all the ships that ventured there. Methane gas was another common scientific and believable theory of the Bermuda Triangle. It is a harmful substance that would affect underwater wildlife, but after sending a team of expert scuba divers underneath the triangle, they saw it was teeming with wildlife. Scuba divers took pictures and showed the scientists, who then concluded that methane gas could not be the cause of all the casualties. They then sent submarines down there. When the submarines returned, the scientists could also conclude that whatever the enigma was, it did not affect magnetic devices that were underwater.
The enigma of the Bermuda Triangle is that more aircraft and ships will vanish than any other place in the world in circumstances that it would seem impossible to disappear.
When navigational instruments go haywire, pilots and captains are forced to connect with their headquarters so they can get directions out of the Bermuda Triangle. But this haze also cuts off radio connection. The pilots and captains won't be able to get their directions and get out of the Bermuda Triangle.
He said, disoriented in clouds. Miami confirmed it was perfect weather and they could not understand what was going on.
Then I look at the compass and it's slowly rotating counterclockwise all by itself. And I say, holy God. Everything turns this strange gray. There's no horizon. You can't see the sky. It's weird. It's like kind of fuzzy looking. That's all this electricity that's in this thing.
That was when I thought of the word electronic fog.
He wasn't flying through fog, but the, quote, fog was attached to him. It was flying with him, and that was the big difference. When aircraft venture into that little zone, the aircraft acts very much like a passive antenna.
Bruce Gurnon is an experienced pilot living in Miami, Florida. He has been flying with his dad since he was 11 years old. He and his dad flew into the Triangle once when he was in his early 20s and almost crashed like many other planes. He lived to tell the tale. Part of that tale was that he was traveling through a warp that was gray and absolutely had no horizon. Bruce Gurnon said, "It went on forever and ever, and it was like a tunnel that never stopped." Once you are captured by the yellowish haze, your mind panics and you just go in a random direction to try and get out of that fog. You don't understand that you are traveling with that fog. Bruce Gurnon also said, "It took me 30 years just to figure out that I was not flying through the fog, but I was traveling with it." Scientists believed that from the outside, the electronic fog would look like a white oval floating in the sky, when in fact, from regular people's point of views, it's just a clear blue sky. All people can really see is a bunch of clouds where the action is actually taking place. Gurnon and his team needed to socialize the idea of electronic fog. So, Bruce Gurnon teamed up with an Edgar Award-winning author on mystery writing, Rob McGregor. They wrote the book The Fog together, containing many informational facts on electronic fog and how it affects the planes and ships that venture into the Bermuda Triangle. Another piece of scientific data that proves that the electronic fog is real is that scientists have realized that the enigma of the Bermuda Triangle must be a magnetic force. if it is to not affect aquatic life and to render magnetic instruments useless. Scientists have made many charts of the electrical flow in the clouds of the Bermuda Triangle. All statistics show that the electronic fog is real.
I'm getting frequencies of 652. Look at this. Look at that. We're going through a cloud right now. Holy
Jetty 14 Affirmer 12000, 0 knots.
we're bouncing off the scale.
In a dangerous test, David Pears and Bruce Gernon fly into the borders of the Bermuda Triangle, using new high-tech equipment to measure energy levels in the clouds of the electronic fog. They measure the cloud's electromagnetic levels, and it is 652.79, which is bouncing off the scale. A regular cloud's electromagnetic level is around 270, so 652.79 is a big difference. Therefore, Gernon and his team now know that there is enough energy in the electronic fog to pull down a ship or even an airplane. The Sargasso Sea may be tied to solving the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle. That sea has a lot of dangerous currents. These currents also bring strong winds with them, sinking many ships that venture there. These ships travel to these parts in the first place because of the prize-winning rare aquatic animals that use the Sargasso Sea as their habitat, like the white marlin and the dolphin fish. The electronic fog is attracted to metal. All the sunken metal in the Sargasso Sea attracts the fog, causing it to stay in that one area. Since that sunken metal will rust because it is in water, that fog senses a stronger newborn metal, like airplanes or ships just entering the triangle. They slowly attacked that piece of metal. Since the Sargasso Sea overlaps the triangle, it can move from the sea to the triangle easily and quickly. Timeline statistics show that the first recorded event at the triangle was in 1492, when Columbus saw strange clouds over this part of the Atlantic. In the 1800s was when economy went down. Cargo ships disappeared in this area, like the Ellen Austin. Profits sunk low, and many were laid off. In the early 1900s, Joshua Slocum disappeared in the Triangle. The early 1900s was when many passenger ships disappeared, like the USS Cyclops. After this, World War II and Vietnam occurred. Many marine ships were lost, like Rubicon and Marine Sulphur Queen. In the 1800s to the early 1900s, people were thinking that Atlantis and UFOs were the reasons. But now, we are looking for more scientific and logical reasonings to the loss at the Bermuda Triangle. Less people are going to the Triangle thinking that they might see Atlantis or they might see a UFO. Government actually plays a big part in the Bermuda Triangle. They pay for equipment for lab experiments that scientists use to investigate the enigma of the Bermuda Triangle. Also, they pay for drones and search planes that are sent out to search for lost ships and airplanes that have been there already. Since we have more logical reasoning, and that logical reasoning has led to many non-magnetic devices formed, people are passing through the triangle with no trouble today. The fog is also getting weaker. Sunken metal in the Sargasso Sea has rusted and is not giving off much energy. Devices are formed so they don't render useless, like these non-magnetic devices. Planes are to fly to a higher altitude, and less fog will come up with you, just in case these instruments do render useless. Ships are to stay in one place and not move. If you move, the fog will move. Soon the fog will pass you, piece by piece. Scientists have explored many theories and tried to solve the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle, but the Bermuda Triangle will forever remain a mystery, for the answer is not obvious. Many lab experiments have been done and many theories have been explored. Many encounters have occurred, leading to many casualties. The Bermuda Triangle will still be one of the greatest mysteries of this earth. Famous scientist Dr. Valentine, living in Miami, Florida, said to Bruce Gernon when they first met, "You must always remember that you hold the key to the Bermuda Triangle."